you're just going to take your 4 or 5 points out in these trades and just go on. I mean, especially, like, I mean, who knew we were going to continue to make this move down here, right? I wish I could have told you. All right, we are continuing to stay weak here. John Murphy, that's right. That's, I think, was that the book on technicals, correct? Yeah. VIX trading at 31.5. Really had gotten up there. The whole week has been pretty amazing. I mean, just pretty amazing. It would continue to break. Next support level I was down at 83. Let me give you some more levels below the 83 here. We've got 67, 53, and then 35. 67, 53, and 35 if we continue to downtick here. So we break 47, 50 points in the first 10 minutes, 8 minutes. Pretty amazing. Just absolutely amazing. But we hopefully were able to take some profits along the way on our levels here. They did give us 4 or 5 point rotations off of them. Thing is, they just move so fast that if you don't click out of it, all of a sudden you're like even, then it's a loser. Just it's that fast. So you got to be very, very quick here and keep your orders in place. They are the extra levels. If you look at the chat box area, those are levels we gave out this morning. Who knew that I'd be adding more levels at 8 minutes into the day? All right, Philip, way to go. Philip is out of here. Nothing wrong with reaching your quota and exiting. Doesn't matter what time it is. All right, we're going to come down here, kind of hang in here. yes, no, I get it. I understand. That's why we definitely make sure that, well, we try not to have a bias more than anything else, because there's just no reason to have it. I mean, you get swayed by we're just not smart enough to know which way the markets are going to open and go. That's all I can say. And learned that over the years, and hopefully uh, transmitted those concepts and ideas to everybody here, so that we try to stay away from those bad trades. I mean, it's not it's stay away from like, I know where the market's going. That's the worst. It's the worst thing anybody can say, and especially these days with what is happening with the volatility. I mean, we break 50 S&P points in 8 minutes, and then we can rally 50 S&P points in the next 2 hours. So whatever. It's one day at a time, one trade at a time. That's all we can do. Thanks there. I appreciate the commentary, Philip. All right, we are coming down here. 83 is the next area of support that I think I have. I mean, who knows with this stuff? I wish I could tell you. It's crazy. Just trade the ebbs and flows. That's all we can do. This has been one interesting week, to say the least. The volatility has been just insane. The one thing I will say, though, is that we have stayed in that Monday range. They've tried to break it above a couple times. Wednesday, and then the Fed came out and really gave the market real comfort, and they broke it like 150 points. And yesterday they tried again, and they broke it again. That's the only, if you look at the bigger picture, that's the only negative thing about it, is that they've tried a couple times to close. We have to close above the high on Monday, that dominating bar, or close below the low on Monday for us to really figure out which direction we're going to go or not, I think. So right now we're just kind of trading in that big range that we had on Monday. I mean, we're moving around like crazy. Don says it's 214 point range. And as long as we stay in that range, we're going to be sidewinding. Usually this probably called consolidating here a little bit. That's what the market is doing. It's basically just consolidating in this little range here. And it's not a little range, it's a big range, but it's really not getting out of this range. So it is what it is, as long as we know that. And but I mean, if you look at it from a technical point of view and the bigger picture point of view, we have to close above or below that area for us to understand where we're going next. Are we going to re-rally, or are we going to break? So the negative part about it is that they did try 2 days in a row to get through it, and they failed. That's definitely a negative. Are we going to continue to downtick? I don't know. Who knows? Next level we have is down here at 83. We'll trade that, and then we'll see what happens next. So that is, again, the idea there is simply that the bulls tried a couple times to push it up higher, and they just didn't get any help from the Fed. Yesterday they were, I don't know why they broke yesterday. Yesterday's break was kind of not really a good break, because there was no news really. It was kind of as positive. They accept, I guess, maybe you could say that they were trading out the fallout from the Fed's decision, but I don't know. But the bulls have tried a couple times to push it through, and they failed. And at this point right now, that's a negative sign. I mean, in my mind, are we going to continue or not? We'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see which way he wants to go, or we're going to stay in this range. So. Way to go, Hilmar. What'd you do? Sell one of your airplanes so you can get a jump on board in the selling S&Ps? All right, market continues to stay a little bit weak here. Let's see what if there are any numbers coming out later on, or at least top of the hour here. Consumer sentiment coming out here at 9 o'clock. Kind of a smallish number considering where and what we are going through. Coming down here to the 83 area now. Again, got down to 84 there. Nice rotation there against the 83 area. Again, we have to scale in, right? We talked about it can't be perfect. We don't intend to be perfect, so hopefully some of you were able to jump in there around 84, 84 and a half, somewhere in that range. You got a nice rotation here off of that. All right, nice rotation there against that our 84 area. 83 again. To jump in there just a little bit. Apple, the world's most valuable company, just posted the highest revenues in its history. Apple's sales in the holiday quarter climbed 11% to $123 billion, led by the strength in iPhones, which generated $71 billion in revenues over a 3-month period. Earnings also topped $30 billion for the first time. And shares responded by soaring 5% after hours on Thursday. Notable price movement in the current volatility market environment and a recent upheaval plaguing the tech sector. Nice little trade there if you did jump in against our 83 area. The quarter's record results were made possible by our most innovative lineup of products and services ever, said this, Tim Cook announced on a conference call, pointing to the iPhone 13, Apple Watch 7, and revamped Macs. We are gratified to see the response from customers around the world at a time when staying connected has never been more important. I tell you, they're amazing, right? I mean, they're just every time you think that these phones are lasting longer, right? I mean, they're just an amazing tool. You can probably get away with either one of these phones and keep them for years, a couple more longer than they used to. And when they first came out, you probably had to get a phone every couple of years. But now the technology has gotten so much better, and the strength of these phones and what you can do with them is just amazing. And so you don't have to exchange them more often, but they keep pushing the envelope. I gotta give them credit. if you are so inclined. The 04 area there, or 304 area there, if you are thinking of trading the blue band there. Nice rotation there off of our 83 area there. Don's flip phone is 7 years old. Still has it. Working like a charm. He says doesn't need a new one. Yeah, but they don't make flip phones with the 5G there, buddy. Sorry. You might have to expand your horizons just a little bit. I don't think they make flip phones with 5G in there. What are you going to do when you can start trading on your phone there, Don? It's dangerous for you. You're going to be on your tractor, bouncing around, and then you're like, oh, let me put on a trade. I'm surprised you even knew what 5G was. That's impressive that you even wrote that in there. All right, nice rotation against our blue band area, if you were a little quick to notice that. The EU and the UK, with support from the United States, are drawing up plans to sanction Russia's energy sector if the country invades Ukraine. The group would cut off new gas projects from Western financing and technology, which could hamper Moscow's ability to drive new production in the future. Russia is likely to unveil counter sanctions in a similar process that occurred following its annexation of Crimea's peninsula in 2014. The 27 nations of the EU would buy about 40% of the natural gas from Russia, so it looks elsewhere for a vast supply. Diplomats have been speeding up negotiations for fallback sources with gas producers around the world, like Azerbaijan and Qatar. The Biden administration also held a marathon video call in recent days to try to convince buyers in South Korea, Japan, and elsewhere that have already paid for their imports to let the United States reroute the shipments to Europe. Politically, we are very keen to help both the United States and Europe, but it's in reality, we cannot just walk away from the long-term commitments to Asia, even if it's just for a short period, said Qatar advisor. The United States and other players in Europe will have to do a lot of convincing here. All right, market bouncing off of our blue band really nicely. So yeah, could be a little. You can see how this Russia situation could easily turn into a big situation that could harm the world economy, right? And you know, again, that's another thing that Russia has to consider. It's like it's going to hurt themselves too, but definitely hurt the world economy and how they're going to manage that, and that could also change the direction of the Fed too, right? I mean, you go from having inflation to a recession if that happens. So it's not an easy situation that they got to deal with. As he said in his commentary, outlook quite uncertain. That's what he said. But you can see why, because you just don't know what every of these people are going to be doing. Yeah, they told him that he actually his flip phone is not not compatible anymore with the 5G technology, and so they gotta. You must be in mourning right now. I'm so sorry to hear that you have to get rid of your flip phone. I'm really. I mean, you are eulogizing it right now. It's terrible. I have until the end of the year, and I'm going to write it out until it drops. Done. Go to the damn store and get yourself a new phone, for heaven's sakes. You'll be surprised. You'll really love it. I'll go on a limb and say you'll really love it. I mean, it's not a matter of it drops. Obviously, whatever phone you have is, considering it's a flip phone, it's been working. It's pretty impressive, but onwards and upwards. Let's go. Go to Verizon store or whatever store you, AT&T or whatever, whoever you, just go get yourself a new phone. You're gonna love it. You can talk to Brad on FaceTime. Then you can see him every day. You don't even know what FaceTime is, probably. Sorry. All right. What's that? All right. Welcome to some of the new folks that are in here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We're trying to find opportunities to scalp the market. If you look at the chat box area, you will find the levels that we gave out this morning. Those levels are what we're looking at, areas that we're going to concentrate to try to scalp the market. We're looking at about 4 to 5 to 6 points range opportunities to scalp. Those are the areas that we're going to be focused in on to try to find areas that might interest us to try to scalp the market. In addition to price action opportunities that we're looking for, combination of both the price action opportunities and the levels that that you will find here in the chat here in a minute are going to give us areas that we're going to concentrate to try to scalp the market, like I said. So that's what we're looking at to try to trade, try to take 4 to 5 to 6 points on our trades. Pat, it's called tough love. It's tough love. We got to get him off the flip phone thing. I mean, if he's got like 25 different computers at home. Do you think maybe he can get rid of the flip phone? Maybe. The guy puts computers together for fun. Every 6 months, he gets a new computer. Do you think maybe he can get rid of the flip phone? Just maybe. But hey, it's like you can't have a dial phone anymore for a reason. Everybody's asking, what's a dial phone? All right, the number is out. What a small number is out now, so that's not really affecting the market that much. It's pretty much staying in this range. Don, could you put up the number, please, the levels again in the chat? Next level on the downside we have, because there they are. They're the levels that we're going to focus in on. We had the 83 technically work. We got down to 84 and it rotated up. So that 83 is not doable. We are looking more at the 67 area down below is our next support area that we're looking at. All right, coming down here to the 83 now. We're looking at the 67 areas, the next support level. Latest results from Robinhood failed to impress investors, with the stock plunging 14% pre-market up to under $10 following a 6% fall during the regular session on Thursday. Oh, they didn't know it, did they? The retail brokerage posted weak revenues guidelines as well as big earnings and the revenues misses in the fourth quarter as a retail trading frenzy in meme stocks and crypto lost its steam. That's prompting the industry pioneer, which brought commission-free trading to the masses via payments to order flow, to look for new revenue streams. We're close to delivering a feature that our customers have been asking for, even larger windows of available trading hours, said his CEO. We call this feature hyper extended hours, anticipate rolling it out in the later this quarter. Hyper extended hours. So these guys want to trade like 28 hours a day instead of 24. Come on, shut the damn thing down. Go to sleep for once. Seriously. Oh, let's trade all night and all day. Oh, let's have more hours in a day so we can all trade. Or whatever. All right, there's 83 here. If you're very aggressive there and kept the 83, you got filled and you got a nice rotation off of it. You have to be everybody has different risk tolerances. So again, it was going to be a very risky trade. And if you did leave it in at 83, and if you did, then you got paid off. There's definitely a risk reward in trading. You have to, what we try to do here is explain the risks to everybody, and then you will, as a trader, kind of make those decisions on your own, whether you're going to take that trade or not. All of that stuff is based on trying to understand what we try to do in our education courses, try to help you understand some of the ebbs and flows, why they would work, why they wouldn't work, and then as an individual trader, your job is to make that decision on your own, whether you're going to take the trade or not. That's what we do here on an everyday basis. The levels that we gave out, in addition to the price action opportunities, are what we teach in our education course, in addition to understanding risk to these trades and then trying to manage those risks to maximize profits for your risk tolerance, because everybody here has different risk tolerance. Nobody trades the same. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box area. Again, if you look at the chat box area, you will see the levels that are in there that we're going to use as a guide to the day. We've gone through our first few support levels there, and I think we did all right with them. And now we're looking at the next support level we have is down at the 67 area. As we're bouncing off of the 83 here a couple times. All right, it's been a crazy week, right? We have been very, very busy. Good morning there, James. Welcome to our trading room here. We're trading mini S&Ps. I think you've been here before. No problem. Can we repeat the levels again in the chat there, Don? Thanks. There are the levels for us, for you. They are a guide to the day. Like I said, our support levels have already been ticked off, and they worked, I think, pretty well for us along the way here. So now we're just kind of looking at the next support level we have is down at 67. If we get above 10, we might rally a little bit higher. This market has been very, very choppy day. It's been a crazy week. I mean, the volatility has been just amazing. It's an amazing week this week. matter how you slice it. Well, so, but we, by the same token, though, we have stayed in Monday's range, within Monday's range, and like I said earlier, that's going to be the key for us to whether we're going to continue to break, or we are going to continue to, or we're going to push back up a little bit. Definitely, Monday's range was unique. The trade was unique, and definitely going to be the dominating bar for the whole week. We've tried to break above it a couple times, but we could not close above it, and then they always come back into the range here. So we'll see. We'll see what it wants to do from the longer term perspective. But even with the longer term perspective, we're not, we don't trade long term. We're trading